You are tired. Your hands still smell of grain. You and your band have just started to plant. This is 10,000 years ago, maybe 13. You've traded nomad fires for fields. You build a simple storehouse, grain in sacks, barley and wheat. A decision for survival, to stay, to settle, to try something new. You leave one pot of wet sprouted grain forgotten in a corner. Rain, or a leak, or a wet morning. It sits, it sogs, it waits. You walk away thinking only of tomorrow's harvest. You don't know what's lurking in the air. Invisible passengers, wild yeast float in a current. They land on the wet grain. They begin their quiet work. You do not know their name. You do not know they are changing everything. Days pass. One morning you return. The pot smells different. Curious, you nudge it with a stick. A soft hiss answers. Bubbles, souring sweetness. It looks spoiled. It looks dangerous. It looks inviting. Someone dares a taste. Maybe it's you. The first sip is small, hesitant. It prickles the tongue. Warmth spreads, then a pleasant dulling of the edges. You laugh when there was no reason to laugh. The world loosens. Your hands steady. Your pain dulls. It tastes of grain and earth and sunshine gone strange. You do not know the word alcohol. You do not know the chemistry of yeast. You only know the effect. Your heart beats faster for no good reason. You pass the pot around. A circle forms. Faces glow. Stories begin. A new substance is born by accident. You are a human learning patterns. Accidents repeat themselves. The pot is refilled on purpose the next season. You try to reproduce the strange comfort. You begin to soak grain intentionally. You learn timing by memory, not by theory. You mix, you strain, you taste. The first brewers don't speak of enzymes. They study the result. They watch who gets brave and who gets sick. They memorize which grains work best. They learn to coax the invisible assistants. They create rituals around the process. In time, techniques spread. Not by lab notes, by imitation, by ceremony, by trade. This is not myth. Archaeologists find traces. Rakefet Cave in what is now Israel holds residues. 13,000 years old, before pottery was common, before written records, a beer-like drink existed. Later, the Sumerians would call beer a gift from the gods. They even write a hymn to Ninkasi, poetry and a recipe wrapped together. Ancient Egypt puts beer in daily wages. Workers building monuments drink it. Its nutrition, its safety. Boiled or fermented, contaminated water kills. Beer is often safer than the river. It keeps people alive long enough to raise walls, sow fields, govern. Think about the stakes. You've stumbled onto a substance that eases hunger, dulls pain, and lets people work harder and celebrate harder. Beer is thick, cloudy, full of grain. They drink it through straws to avoid solids. It's low in alcohol by modern standards, but it's heavy in calories. It's a portable food and a social glue. Feasts grow louder, rituals get bigger. Priests and chiefs learn the power of shared cups. A drink becomes a social contract. You offer beer at peace talks. You use it to bind loyalty. You pay laborers in mugs. You justify temple offerings. What started as an accident becomes an institution. Grain gets prioritized. Fields expand. Settlements thicken. Population clusters into towns. The need for storage, law, ritual follows. Beer doesn't cause civilization alone, but beer tips the balance. It makes staying more attractive. It rewards farmers. It helps create leaders. It stabilizes communities. You imagine the scene, a pot left to chance, the first laugh after a sip, the first staggering dance, the first debtor paid in ale. From cave residue to temple hymn to daily ration, a chain of tiny accidents and learned repeats that help define how humans organize. You feel the pressure of choices your ancestors didn't know they were making. They invented nothing on purpose at first. They discovered, they iterated, they ritualized, they altered the course of survival. Final beat. Every major human system, food, labor, religion, power, has tiny, messy origins, a forgotten pot, invisible creatures, one brave taste, one shared laugh. If you had discovered the world's first beer by accident, would you have been brave enough to take the first